my darlings, welcome to a new vlog. Today genuinely feels like the start of spring. Apologies to my hand, I'm getting dazzled. Today feels like the start of spring. It's mild, the blooms are coming out, crocuses, snowdrops, daffodils, the birds are singing, we've got blue skies, and it just feels very optimistic. So today we've got a house full of family. We've got a Sunday roast being cooked as we speak. I have made a banana and chocolate cake this morning, and we've been out for a lovely walk, as you've seen. But we're having a roast to all get together for Charlie's mum and dad's birthdays, which are a few days apart. They were actually abroad on their actual birthdays, so we've got everybody together to celebrate with a roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, roast potatoes, cauliflower cheese and all the trimmings. So I've just come into the greenhouse to gather a few little terracotta plant pots, which I'm going to use as table decorations, seeing as nothing else is in bloom just yet. And let me show you my dress. You're balanced on a kitchen roll tube, so hopefully not too unstable. But this is a really gorgeous dress from a brand called Holly Blocks, and I thought it's perfect for today because the pattern is snowdrops. Absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'll take the crocus on the table. They're a little bit over, unfortunately, although it still looks quite pretty with their leaves, so maybe I will take this one in, and perhaps some of my little anemones. So here we go, a nice simple kind of early spring tablescape. I'm sticking with a natural and green and white scheme. I've got the terracotta pots from the greenhouse, things like anemones, some daffodils. These have actually gone over, but no one's gonna know. The narcissus, and these smell absolutely incredible. Slim pickings in the garden for things to bring in for bud vases, but this is actually a clematis, so it's getting a little bit leggy. It's going to have to be trimmed back soon anyway. And this beautiful little white flower. Got a crocus just starting to come through, and the other bits and bobs that I just showed you. Tablecloth, this is the hellebore one from Time, and the napkins. The lovely placemats with a scalloped edge are Rebecca Oodle. I'll leave these linked down below. And then we've got the green glassware, also Rebecca Oodle. We've got our Royal Oak Watcut steak knives, a few little candles, and it looks rather lovely. Nice, simple, pre-spring table. Okay, chef, what have we got for our Sunday roast today?
We're doing côte de boeuf today.
Côte de boeuf?
So it's a little bit different because really it's like a big steak.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've done the trivet for about 45 minutes on its own.
Alright.
Because we want the gravy to be nice, but these are actually only going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes now. They've been seared off. Mm-hmm. So unlike a lot of other, to be honest, it's a great roast to do for like, well, one of these would be enough for 4, potentially even 6 people if you're not big in meat eaters. This is for 8. So 4 and 4, but it's quite a good roast to do if you're sort of not in a rush, but it's a quick roast.
Okay.
Obviously everything else still takes time, but these are going to go in the oven now.
And what are we having with it?
And I'll show you, I'll talk you through it. Give me 2 seconds. So we are having with it a mixture of things today. So we have cauliflower and broccoli cheese, which is a big boy.
Yeah, that looks good.
That is actually going to need to go in. We've got your classic roasties.
Nice.
Looking good, as you can see.
Fantastic.
We have some roasted artichoke.
Oh, nice.
Which is just very much in season. So I thought we'd do them. Look, it crisps up almost like actually need to turn them over. They crisp up almost like a roast potato. You could actually have these instead of a potato this time of year.
Nice.
So they're Jerusalem artichoke, which are in season. I think I got them with Riverford because I thought, well, let's try some of their in-season veg.
Nice. So you bought them aside from the veg boxes?
Yeah, because with our recipe boxes, obviously, I choose 3 recipes a week normally 2 of which are veg. And then, but you can also, there we go.
The smoke alarm is over.
Thank you for that. Yeah, you can obviously order veg alongside it. And this is, I've just done with some olive oil and some thyme from the garden.
And we've got a £15 off link in the description box down below for Riverford.
Below.
Yeah.
And then we've got parsnips and carrots in here.
Oh, yes.
Which, to be honest, you live and you learn, but I probably put, you really want more surface area. So I probably should have used a bigger pan for these. So to get them crispy, I might have to finish them in a pan, but let's see.
They look good. Nice one.
Yeah, and then we'll have a nice homemade gravy. And yours.
And I've made a milk chocolate banana bread. We've opened a couple of bottles of rosé because it is absolutely glorious. Got the sound of everybody having a giggle outside. I'll take my rosé out there. And it's a glorious day. Post-lunch outfits descended into chaos.
We're still trying very hard.
Fashion. Come on, show off your glorious outfit. Come on, Scarlett.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry. And I can't do a straight standing leg.
Right, I'll try a straight.
It's very good.
What is it to you over in the world? Hello, my darlings. It's now Monday morning. I apologise for yesterday's lack of chatting to you. It was just a really gorgeous day with family. It was such a nice day. We had rosé out in the garden for the first time this year. I was almost tempted for us to actually have our roast out on the garden table, but the sun just started to go in and it was ready. So we played it safe and had it in the dining room, but just really lovely to catch up with everybody. Hadn't had everyone together since Christmas, so that was lovely. I've just done my Monday morning Pilates and then I had a quick coffee matcha with lovely NJ at the club, which was gorgeous. She's always just such a treat to be around. And now heading home, I need to get some compost because annoyingly, thank you for being patient with me, annoyingly, I think that my Rocket Grow seed starting compost, I think it must have been sitting wet over the winter because strangely it's so like stodgy that it's almost, now that it's dried out, turned to concrete, and I feel like my seedlings are just not going to be strong enough to push through. So I think that unfortunately everything that I sowed last weekend, I don't know if it's going to make it. So I'm going to go and grab a fresh bag of compost from Wyatt's. Unfortunately, they don't sell compost in the Dalesford Garden Centre because that would have been very convenient. Today is a bonus nice day because I thought it was going to be grey and rainy all day, and it's actually a gorgeous blue sky day. So that is an extra treat when it's an unexpected nice day. I've got my veggie scraps, chicken bones and beef shin bones that we had yesterday in the freezer, so I'm going to pop them on a low simmer all day, make a nice broth for the week. So that's the plan. It's been a little while since I came to Wyatt's. I always love to see what they've got in different garden centres. They've got a few little baby strawberry plants, a few rhubarbs. Just one of these, £7.90. This would be enough rhubarb to feed an entire family for the rest of summer. They get so massive. Blueberries, raspberries, ooh, tayberry. Tayberry, I've not heard of a josterberry before. White currants, jottaberry, loganberry. Gosh, so many varieties. What have we got down here? I think that's all the edibles. It's quite a good idea to see what you can start growing by seeing what they've got in the garden centres. These look pretty. Oh, do you know what? I'm actually not such a huge fan of alpine flowers. They don't really suit my garden. It's so lovely and warm in here. Some climbers. Beautiful honeysuckles, clematis. Some herbs, lavandula. Okay, I don't need to get distracted. I just need my soil. Which I know sounds horrible, but you guys know the drill. So we've got, it looks a little bit gross, I'm sorry, but things like the tops of onions, including the skin. I've got chicken bones in here, I've got bits of garlic. That's all been frozen in these stasher bags for a week or so. I've managed to get 3 stasher bags. I've actually never done this before, where I'm mixing chicken bones and beef bones. That was from our roast yesterday, but I figured it can't really do any harm. I believe that beef bones, it takes a little bit longer to get the goodness out of them. So I'm literally gonna leave this on all day. This has even got some leftovers from yesterday's Sunday roast. We've got maple glazed carrots. Sorry, I'm trying to do some toast at the same time. Maple glazed carrots. We've got some artichokes in there, but that's why I love this, because it literally stops anything from going to waste. Carrots, tops of leeks. We've got tops of onion. I know you've seen me doing this a million times before, but it really is just such a good thing to do. So this has got all the goodies in there. I'm going to fill it up with water and bring it to a boil. Then once it's boiling, I'll move it into a lower heat to simmer for around 10 hours. I'm doing my avocado with a few little smashed eggs on rye bread for breakfast. Grabbing a pinch of salt. Just going to pop that in the water with my veggies and my bones. Maybe a couple of pinches. And then that'll come up to boil while I make my avo toast breakfast. Has swiftly become my favourite breakfast. So we've got the rye bread, sliced avocado, some peas, we've got dukkha, we've got seed mix, we've got salt, we've got olive oil, and we have got little microgreens. I think, if I remember correctly, these are kohlrabi and rocket microgreens. And if you've not seen my reel, just as an FYI, microgreens, they actually contain 40 times the amount of nutrients as the full-sized leaf or veg, because it's so densely packed, so that's so good for you. So I'm going to very much enjoy this, and hopefully by the time I'm done, this will have come up to boil, so I can move it onto the less hot plate so it can simmer away, and then I'll go up and have my shower. What do you think to that plan, babies? You're just so handsome. Are you having a tough day? It was quite an exciting weekend, wasn't it? So it's a very tough start to the week. Lovely bunnies. Okay, that was super duper tasty. It's so shiny. Need to go and get in the shower. So tasty, and with the good fats from the avocado and the seeds and everything, that's going to keep me full for a long time. I was going to make myself my smoothie, but then I saw that I had this in the fridge. We had a delivery last week from Coco's Organic. Their products are coconut based, so this has got organic coconut water, organic strawberry, organic fruit and vegetables, and live vegan kefir cultures. Kind of similar, I guess, to the M&S Zoe Gut Shot, but it's all organic, it's a lot bigger. So yeah, a really nice thing to have on the go, a really nice palate cleanser I find after a savoury breakfast. So I'm going to enjoy this, give it a little shake up. And they do lots of other really fantastic products as well. They do a kind of cream cheese, they do big bottles of kefir. It's a really lovely brand. This tastes like yop. If you ever used to drink yop when you were little, I dread to think what the ingredients are in that, but this is all really good ingredients, and it's actually a British brand as well, which we love. Oh, it's so yummy. Oh my gosh, tasty. Something that didn't work out too well was my chia seed microgreen experiment. As you can see, it is mold-orama. I think where the chia seeds go gooey before they germinate, I think that that was just an environment for mold. And also this doesn't have any drainage, so sadly I'm gonna have to chuck these away. Might try it again with a vessel that's got more drainage, but never mind. I do need to do a little bit more microgreen sowing when I'm out in the greenhouse later. But my stock has just started to bubble and boil. So, oh my gosh, it smells amazing. It literally smells like we're having a Sunday roast in here. So I'm gonna give this a good stir up, move it onto the lower heat and let that simmer. Okay, my darlings. Ooh, do you know what? This camera is always zoomed in when I press film. It's very, very strange. So the broth is making the whole place smell absolutely amazing. It's been stewing away for a couple of hours while I've had my shower and we've had our team meeting. Need my afternoon coffee now. Still not over how cute this little frother is, and it's so much tinier than my Smeg one, so this is brilliant. It's Nespresso X Liberty. Sorry about the noise of my washing machine. A couple of things. So I saved this pepper from one of the pasta sauces I made last week because it's just so full of seeds, and I thought I would just, you know, pop a few in some compost and see if we can germinate, see if we can create our own pepper plant. And also, sorry, I'm here, there and everywhere, and please excuse my exceptionally casual outfit. I've got thermal, I've got my Abercrombie knit, and then Lily Silk wide bottoms because it's just a working from home Monday. I noticed that Charlie had put this in the bin. Now to me, this has still got a good few hours of burn time left on it. So I'm just going to burn this in the greenhouse now while I sow my seeds, and then I'm pretty sure there's a trick where you can put boiling water in a candle that's coming to the end, and it makes the wax float up, and then you can clean it and reuse the jar, because these jars that the Dalesford candles come in, they're just so handy. We also just added our £10 off code for Dalesford. Oh, it's the dishwasher. Everything's going on at the moment. Yeah, we just added our Dalesford £10 off code to the newsletter. It's also on our discount directory, and I'll leave it linked below. I feel like we've just got so many discount codes at the moment that are amazing. So we've got £10 off Dalesford, we've got £15 off organic veg or veg boxes from Riverford, and all the usual ones, 20% off Monica Vinegar, obviously Wild Nutrition, Beauty Pie. So they're all on the discount directory and on the newsletter in case you didn't know. But anyway, right, let's head into the greenhouse. I'm going to give this a little wash through, and then we'll do some seed sowing. Okie dokie, we're in the greenhouse. I am going to put some gloves on because my manicure is on its last legs, and I feel that hands in soil today would send it over the edge. What's that mess behind me? This is my matches. I have lit the Dalesford Vine Tomato candle I reckon I've probably got a good hour or so left in that one, and it already smells lovely. Okay, so the mission this afternoon is to do a little bit more mid-February seed sowing. I've got a very cobwebby selection of seed trays here. Yes, they're plastic, but I've been using these for 3 or 4 years, and I'm just gentle with them so that they don't rip apart when I take the seedlings out. They're a really good size for things that grow seedlings in quite small ways, so they wouldn't be any good for things like a courgette or a pumpkin, but for small things they are perfect, and most things that you sow in February are quite small. So I'm not going to get carried away, but what I'm going to do is a row of each thing. So maybe not radishes, I feel like they can just go straight in the ground, as can spring onions, but it's still just that little bit cold outside. So I'm going to do a classic white spring onion, a row of those. I think Dickens has spotted a sheep next door. In my tray that has currently got my mouldy chia seeds, I'm going to put a proper microgreen mix. This is probably more expensive than just getting a typical seed and using it as a microgreen. You don't need to buy a microgreen mix like this. I just saw it and I was like, I'll give it a try. So I think this is a radish microgreen. I guess technically this will have been grown and germinated and seeds created specifically to make it into a microgreen. So actually it'll be really interesting to compare specific microgreen seeds to ones that I just use. For example, I've got this quite old bag of lettuce seeds, and I'm gonna sow these as microgreens as well, because a microgreen is literally just when you eat your seedling when it's only that big, instead of letting it grow to a full-size plant. So this time of year you can also start off things which love warmth. So aubergines, I personally have never had any luck with aubergines. Yeah, so it says you have to cover with glass polythene or a propagator lid. I have got a propagator lid somewhere, so I'll find one and give these the best chance. I've got jewel marble aubergine, and then I've got a patio baby aubergine. Now I love eating them, so if I can grow them I'll be really happy. I'm also trying for the first time this year kaleette. I love kaleette to eat. It's kind of a mix between kale and a sprout, I guess you could say. Really good for you, really rich flavour. Sow them indoors from February to April. See, these want a propagator lid as well, so I'll put them in the pile with the aubergines, and we'll have to keep them warm. And the reason that you add a propagator lid is to keep the humidity and the moisture inside while the seed is germinating. Something that's really easy to do is rainbow chard, which I love. Ooh, oh, it says outdoor sowing April to July. I'm going to give myself a head start. And then I did pick up some more broad beans from Wyatt's. Now, where have I put my pak choi seeds? Because I did want to do some of those as well. Where have I put them? Also got some spinach here. This is a unique oriental spinach with an upright habit with dark green pointed leaves. That sounds good. That probably doesn't need a propagator lid. And I thought I would try leeks as well. Something else that I've never had much luck with, but conditions change year on year, so it's always worth trying. Okay, I'll have a little rummage in here for my pak choi. Got a different type of spring onion here, so I might do that one as well. Not going to do any root veg because I always think that's better to go straight outside, but I'm just going to head over to the shed and see if I can find my propagator lids. Oh, yes. taken that first tray outside and watered it so that the water can just kind of dribble out, not all over the table. Now you can see here, this is the one that I did last week with Lala, and the compost that I used last time, it's just gone really hard and globular. I can even see a little bit of mold. So unfortunately, I don't think my pea microgreens are going to have much luck, but I'm not going to give up on them. I'm going to add in some of this new compost. Here comes the sunshine, hallelujah. Just a thin layer of this new compost, half a scoopful, just spreading this over the top. There is a chance that with this extra goodness, the peas might spring to life, but what I am going to do, first of all, I'm going to water it very delicately because this compost is so fine. And now I'm just going to find, here they are, and I'm going to sprinkle these specific microgreen seeds on the top. They're tiny, so they don't need anything covering them. And if by some miracle my peas do start to come to life, then to be honest, they'll just grow through alongside the microgreens. So I think it's kind of a win-win situation. While I'm doing all this seed sowing, I'm listening to Charles Dowding's latest video, Be Ahead in February with spring almost here. Charles Dowding is one of my favourite gardening YouTube channels to watch. I also love Ben from Grow Veg. I also love Hugh Richards. I love Nile Gardens. And like I said in the last vlog, I'm really hoping that Hazel is going to start a YouTube channel. I just messaged her this morning like, can't wait for your weekly vlog. So fingers crossed I'll have someone else that's very wholesome to watch while I'm doing my gardening. But Charles and Ben from Grow Veg and Hugh, they do tell you what seeds to sow each month. So very helpful. So I'm going to carry on listening to Charles and do my microgreen radish sowing. Yay! And we are back in the dressing room after an hour in the greenhouse. I feel like at this time of year, little and often is a good technique. There is nothing better than the feeling of that scrubby, lovely hand wash after a session of gardening. I know I said I was going to wear gloves the whole time, but unfortunately it's very hard to do anything with seeds when you're wearing gloves, so I'm sorry manicure. It's still looking okay, but I will need to get it redone. Yeah, so little and often is the way to go at this time of year. It's very easy, let me tell you from past experience, to get totally carried away with seed sowing, especially when I listen to those videos. I'm like, oh, I haven't done my Monch 2 yet, I haven't done my fava beans yet, etc, etc. But I really must practice self-control. Okay, there's nothing urgent on the old email, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to unbox some things with you. This has been sitting outside my dressing room for a couple of days waiting for me to unbox. This is actually a PR delivery from the Dior beauty team, so I thought we could undo this together. I'm sure there's something very exciting inside. I love to keep the little Dior ribbons if we ever have any little girls visiting or anyone that gets excited by things like that. Then I've got a little stash of Dior branded goodies that I can share. I know when I was 12, 13, 14, I would have loved to have had a Dior branded ribbon. I probably would have put it in my pigtails or something. Even the tissue paper is branded. How adorable. Ooh, we've got a little tote bag. Huh, okay, this is fun. What does it say? What does that say? It says Dior at the bottom, but I have no idea what that top bit says. That's fun. I know exactly who is gonna love this. Oh, how funny, the inside label is leather. This is the poshest part of the entire thing. Yeah, cute little tote bag. Actually, that'd be quite good for me getting my vegetables at Dalesford. How ridiculous. And we've got Miss Dior Parfum. This is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. It's very fresh, very spring-like. It's an icon. It's been around for so long, Miss Dior, and I love it. So thank you very much, Dior, for that top-up. Oh, does it say Miss? The carrier bag says Miss at the top. Oh, hang on. It's a new Miss Dior Parfum. The new Miss Dior perfume is a composition in which floral and woody notes echo each other and play an abstract olfactory harmony in the grand tradition of Choupre fragrances, of which Miss Dior was a legendary incarnation in 1947. Flowers dominated by the intensity of custom-crafted fruity jasmine, imbued with sparkling elegance, sweet and juicy notes, as delectable plump wild strawberries awaken the palate. This is like poetry. My goodness, clean patchouli, a dense and binding Alaskan cedar adds a touch of darkness, while an earthy bed of moss warmly envelopes sweet, bold fruits and floral beauty of the fragrance. Well, that has sold it to me, quite frankly. A woody moss, a bed of woody moss. Oh, as always. Yeah, so the packaging hasn't changed. Is it really new? The new Miss Dior? Maybe they switch up the formula a little bit every now and then, like they do with ibuprofen, so that with ibuprofen it's so that our bodies don't get used to it and then become immune to it, and maybe with perfume we get sensitized or desensitized to the smell. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, I think that is a little bit like earthier. Oh, it's so nice. It's an icon for a reason. I've never worn it as my daily fragrance, but maybe I will this spring because I feel like that's very me. That is lovely. Thank you, Dior Beauty. My test with fragrances is to wear them and then hang about around near Charlie, because he's very, as you can imagine, very selective with which fragrances he likes. So let's see what he thinks of this one. Okay, next. I've got a couple of boxes that have arrived from Holland Cooper. I apologise, I've completely crushed the boxes, but that doesn't matter. It's what's inside that counts, but it's always such a gorgeous unboxing experience. Such beautiful branding. Great British excellence. Yes, oh my gosh. Okay, this I tried on in the boutique. I'm trying to be a little bit smarter with my countryside attire because so many of the places that I frequent, my wardrobe is either too like feminine London, or I feel like my countryside-y outfits are quite casual, like what I'm wearing now, leggings and a jumper. So I wanted something that's very appropriate for where I live and where I go, but to be a little bit smarter, like say a very nice pub dinner, or I don't know, other things that I do. So we have got a blazer. It's double-breasted. It's mostly green, but it's got shoots of red and blue. It's got a beautiful silk lining, finest Scottish woven wools. This is a size 8, which I think will be perfect on me. May need a 6, but I think an 8 will be good because we don't want anything that's too not fitting correctly on the shoulders. So I'll try that in a moment. And then we also have, Holland Cooper now do a gabardine trench coat, which is fabulous for rainy days, of which we have many. April showers will have nothing on this. It's even kind of waterproofy on the inside. Really gorgeous, soft gabardine. Looks like leather. I'm not sure if this technically is gabardine. I don't know the definition of gabardine. This is the exclusive Holland Cooper product. Is specially designed to provide all-weather comfort, high-density fabric structure with integral waterproof characteristics and taped seams, providing waterproofing, durability, and wind resistance. That's very, very handy. I mean, that is a beacon of British fashion design, isn't it? So classic. You've got a subtle little HC on the back there. You've got a dart down at the bottom, pockets. I like the fact that the buttons are like a matte black. Very cool. I shall give this a try in a moment. And with jackets, blazers, coats, you do also get the Holland Cooper coat hanger, which I know is a small detail, but we love a little luxury detail. There we go. Absolutely perfect. I love the double-breasted detail on this. And you also get the dust bags, which is very, very helpful for storage. That's not all. Box number 2. Oh, these are rather wonderful. Okay, so these are the gorgeous zip-ups that I spotted in the boutique last week. You've got Holland Cooper button detail down on the sleeves, which I love, and they are similar to this in that they've just got a little mini zip, which is just very, very practical. You get all of the warmth and the coziness of a roll neck, but it's so much easier to pull them on because of the zip. It's not going to ruin your hair or dislodge your eyebrows. If you know, you know. So there we go, we've got it in the camel colour, camel or like biscuit, and also in white. I will be getting a lot of wear out of these. Let's pop one on now and we can give it a little try. Okay, so obviously just ooh, do you know what? These are little details that make Holland Cooper pieces so elegant. I would just zip it up so you can't see my thermal. Really beautiful gold zip. This detail is the piece de résistance. And I like the height of the neck. It feels quite sporty. I would not wear it out to the house with these very casual trousers on, but I would most definitely wear it around the house like so, as just a chilling at home. I will be living in this for the rest of the week, spoiler alert. But could also look very stylish with a pair of jeans. In fact, do I remember correctly, they had a top like this with, yeah, they had a scarf, they had a gold and white beautiful woolen trench coat in the boutique. It's perfect. It's perfect to kind of make a smart look a little bit more casual. Something else, by the way, that's great about wearing thermals underneath is that if you have got ultra sensitive skin, I would not say that this fabric is itchy, but if you get warm, then I would say that maybe you might be a little bit sensitive. But if you wear a thermal underneath, then that's a barrier between knitwear and your skin, if you do find knitwear can be a little bit sensitive. And also, a little hack in that because the thermal is between your body and the knitwear, it means that you don't need to wash your knitwear quite as frequently. And every time you wash clothing, it does, I guess, weaken it a little bit. So the less you can wash your clothing, the better in terms of the longevity of your clothing. So by doing this, I can mostly, if I don't get soil all over everything, I can mostly just wash the thermal a lot more regularly than I have to wash the top layer. But yes, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous delivery. Thank you, Holland Cooper. Thank you, Miss Dior team. The only other thing to show you, so someone actually sent me this brand as a recommendation after seeing me struggle with my blow drying and pin curling a couple of weeks ago. The brand is called Charlie and it's an Australian brand. As far as I know, I've not been charged any customs. They basically do, very heavily plastic wrapped, I must say, rollers. I would actually say that it's a real shame the amount of plastic here, and I know I've said this before, but the crinklier, the louder the plastic, the harder it is to break down, so this is very bad plastic. The rollers themselves, they're quite beautiful. They are rose gold on the inside, and on the inside where they're metal, that's going to hold heat, which means that if you've blow dried your hair, wrap it in the roller, give it a blast with a hot hairdryer. As your hair cools down, the metal within here will enable your hair to cool down more slowly, which apparently is better for holding a style. So we shall see. I'll give these a go when I next do my hair. They also came with these clips, which look really, really handy because I do often struggle because I've got a lot of hair to actually keep my rollers in place. So hopefully these will do the trick. And then I ordered, again in crinkly plastic, I ordered a backup set as well because I'll probably need more than just those. They're very substantial, and they're quite long as well, which is great if, I know it doesn't look like it, but I've got fine hair, but a lot of it. I've got a lot of hair. It takes quite a lot of rollers. I'm so jealous when I see people just Dyson air wrapping their hair in 10 minutes. I have about 4 times the amount of hair as those people, which has its upsides and its downsides. The downside being that it takes forever to do anything with my hair. But anyway, so I'll try these next time I blow dry my hair. I'm going to pop the clips in my little drawer here underneath my makeup station. I have got lovely Lynn from the Lucy app coming to do a deep tissue massage for me and a relaxing massage for my mum in half an hour. So I'm going to have a little tidy up and then make the bedroom all cozy and candles lit and music on, ready for treatments.